I think what made this Frieza good was the fact that he was a new Planet Saga lead, and also he started out with that additional attack and defense for the first 6 turns. Because I do remember Goku not being better than this guy, specifically because of this part of his passive right here, with him gaining ki and additional attack and going against a superclass enemy, and this 6 turns of 100% attack and defense, which was very, very good because you was able to build up all that 100% attack and defense back from stacking your defense anyways inside his 18 key and stacking your attack with his 12 key, provided you did get hit. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dev, back with another one of these Dokkan battle videos. Today we're going to talk about LR Full Power Frieza, how he performed in his meta, how he looks in today's meta, the good, the bad, the ugly. So LR Full Power Frieza is last year's Worldwide Celebration unit. And I think that the Planet Saga units were definitely deserving of a Worldwide Celebration because it's Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza. It's the little you fool, and he fucking hits one of these big nasty blast. So I think that it was warranted that this guy was going to get a Dokkan Fest LR. I think he very much deserves it. Like, this is definitely a deserving Dokkan Fest LR. Same goes with LR Namek Goku, who I think aged better than Frieza, specifically based off of the fact that I feel like it's like Goku will go ahead and cover more tough content than Frieza does. I feel like as more units came out for Terrifying Conquerors, transformation boost, I mean, it's more so Terrifying Conquerors and Wicked Bloodline. I feel like when more units came out, not transformation boost, get that out your head. I feel like when more units specifically came out for Wicked Bloodline and Terrifying Conquerors, I feel like this Frieza was pushed off to the side a bit because, I mean, you're running double LR Final Form coolers. You got STR Cooler on rotation with him. You have AGL Turles on the team with his Wicked support, which is over here. You have like all these crazy free-to-play coolers that you could like slide in on the team to get those specific typing missions done for Extreme Class for like Broly or something. It's like you wouldn't really see yourself running this Frieza because, I mean, come on now. It's like, are you running LR Full Power Frieza, or are you going to run LR Golden Frieza? Are you going to go ahead and run LR Metal Cooler, or are you going to run LR Full Power Frieza? It's like, we already have some of the best slot 1 units to use in the game, that being LR Golden Frieza, and then we have a very super powerful revival unit, that being this LR Metal Cooler in slot 1 also. So, I mean, why would you run this guy when you have better options to run on both Wicked Bloodline and Terrifying Conquerors? Yes? Really, it's like you could make the case that you can run him, but like the whole set team, it's like, guys, this team is already looking good without having to use this guy. Because this guy is like, it's like, okay, you can use him specifically for some red zone stages, but it's like, look at Terrifying Conquerors, look at Wicked Bloodline. It's like, wow. It's like LR Metal Cooler, AGL Cooler, LR Golden Frieza. We have LR Final Form Cooler. We have the LR Metal Cooler Army for their great support. AGL Golden Frieza, we have Tech Golden Frieza, we also have all the free-to-play Metal Coolers who are actually quite solid. We have STR Cooler, we have King Cold, we have this Mecha Frieza who's actually quite solid. It's like, guys, we have more than enough. It's like also Golden Cooler, but Golden Cooler is more so like Dragon Ball Heroes. We're not going to talk about Golden Cooler. Okay, we're not going to talk about Golden Cooler. So, it's like, you guys get the point. It's like, also, this free-to-play Tech Cooler is actually quite solid to run. Then we also have the Sworn Enemy Third Form Frieza if you want to get a little frisky and get as much support out of the team as possible. So it's like, I mean, and it gets much better for Wicked Bloodline, for Terrifying Conquerors, but I pretty much have already made the point. It's like, this guy has already been pushed off the team because it's like you're focusing the team around double Final Form coolers on both rotation, and you want a solidified slot 1 unit, that being LR Golden Frieza and LR Metal Cooler, because he has Revive, and then he has amazing damage reduction. So it's like it's back and forth. Oh, another slot 1 you can run. You can also run, you know, STR Cool. You get a little frisky with it, get your little stacking defense off early, and this guy's defense will be looking very, very superb by the end of the fight. But still, you guys get the point. It's like, this guy is supporting a top 3 LR in the game, top 5 LR in the game, that being LR Final Form Cooler, sitting right next to him. It's like, guys, why would you run this guy? It's just, no, I'm getting off topic, but let's go ahead and talk about how he performed this meta. He performed quite well for his meta, that being the God event meta, because of course this guy was able to get off a very important part in his passive, that being this 3 key, well, up to 3 key each time he comes back on turn, and this additional 50% more attack, making him hit quite hard, as well as this 100% attack and defense for this first 6 turns from the start of turn. It's like, this is literally what made him better than Goku. Just this right here, based off of this, because you are fighting more super class enemies, and this guaranteed crit also came in clutch. Because guys, guess what? Something I also want to mention, other than the fact that he did perform well inside the God event, was the fact that people were still trying to get some of those legendary GT Goku missions done, and they were trying to get the legendary Goku missions done also. And legendary Vegeta event too, but I mean Vegeta's he's obviously not a Goku, so he's not gonna get the guaranteed crit off. But this guy still destroyed that Vegeta event. He was completely obliterating legendary Goku event, like both the GT and regular, because he was performing guaranteed crits and stacking defense and stacking attack when he got hit. So it didn't even matter. It's like this guy got touched, he killed Goku in 1 turn. It's like dead immediately. It's like nothing. He was type disadvantage against he was type disadvantage against full power Goku, the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku at the end of the legendary GT Goku event phase, but who cares? He was obliterating him! Guaranteed crits, guys! Guaranteed crits, he was stacking attack along with it. At the end of those legendary events, he was at like 10 million. So he smoked the God event, he smoked the legendary Goku events, he smoked Extreme Super Battle Road. This guy was a menace in game. For sure. The only unit I saw better than him was LR AGL UI. I still think that LR UI is better than him. I still think so. I know some people may not agree with me, but I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. You know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I think that LR UI is better than LR Full Power Frieza. I know I spoiled my low tier list video, but hey, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and go watch that, you know. Come on now. But yeah, this guy performed well for the God. I mean, let's take a look at the stage. Like what the stage is that he performed well in, because I kept going off on a tangent on why you wouldn't want to. Why would you run this guy for Terrifying Conquerors or Wicked Bloodline when there's just far better options? It's like, he's great for sure. It's like, if you don't have those specific options to run for Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conquerors, then sure, run this guy, because this guy is not a bad option. But provided you have summoned on these banners this year and have gotten LR Metal Cooler, you've farmed up all those free to play units, farmed up that tech base form cool. It's like you like got all these good units. It's like, you guys get exactly what I mean. I spent a good 3 or 4 minutes talking about it. So let's see. Let's take a look at the God event. So like, okay, obviously he obliterates the first stage because he's STR. I mean, he could probably go up really well against Beerus. Yeah, he could probably go up really well against Beerus, even though Beerus does a lot inside his first form. Inside the first phase, he does quite a bit. Okay, so I think he can go well against Beerus. I think he can go up well against the first stage. I think he can completely eviscerate Rumshi and Hellas also. Although Tech is right there, but I mean, obviously she changes phases, of course. So yeah, I think Full Power Frieza is actually doing considerably well inside the God event. Yeah, I have used him in the God event when he came out, and he did all right. I would say so. He did quite alright. So this guy can definitely work in there. Obviously in long events, he's completely obliterating them. And for, what's the other stage? For Battle Road, he's actually doing well for Battle Road. So, how does he perform in the red zone / 200% leader skill meta? I think he performs quite well, provided you are fighting the right type of enemies. It's like this guy going up against, I don't know, Super 17, for example, because Super 17 is one of the toughest STR bosses in the game. I think he can perform well against Super 17. What's another tough, excuse me, I opened that up on accident. What's another tough STR boss for... I mean, Turles is not tough, but yeah, obviously he can smoke Turles. I mean, yeah, it's only in the second phase, though. Oh, Lord Slug, obviously. It's like the earlier red zone stages, like this Frieza's doing quite well. Yeah, it's like the first like 3 stages, well, except General Rodo, because General Rodo is obviously type advantage over him. Although, of course, him being tech, he can actually take less damage from him, because obviously an extreme class character going against an extreme class character, it doesn't take as much defense to tank type disadvantage against them anyways. So I think that he can go up against like the beginning stages of the red zone, like the first 3 red zone stages for both of them. I think he's doing considerably alright. But as for like Bojack, Janemba, Broly, it's like no. And we go over here, it's like for Shadow Dragons, maybe. maybe. I'm thinking maybe for Shadow Dragons. Super 17, I think he can work all right because, of course, Extreme Class, up against Extreme Class, any type advantage over him, I think he's doing all right. Even though Super 17 hits quite hard for sure. Against Sin, he's all right against Sin. But, like, yeah, Shadow Dragons, Sin, he's okay against Omega. I would say he's all right against Omega because I used him in there. Yeah, him against Omega and him against Shadow Dragons, he's okay in there. It's like he can definitely work out in the red zone for sure because he literally has a top 5 LR in the game sitting right next to him. That being this bad boy right over here. It's like, come on, guys. He has this. It's like he literally has him right next to him. So he's going to do well in the red zone. Even before having this guy sitting right next to him, I think he can still work out for sure. I still think he can definitely work out, provided you watch where this guy is being placed at in those slots. So he can work okay inside the red zone for sure. I'm definitely not going to shit on him for the red zone, but I just think that I feel like LR SSJ Goku just works a tad bit better because the fights that matter, like Bojack, he can actually work out okay in Broly, provided he does get as much stacks as he possibly can in. It's like I believe that I said that Broly can be a little iffy. I don't remember what I said in that video, to be honest, because, guys, I double upload every day. But still, it's like, unlike him and SSJ Goku, these two could definitely work inside the red zone quite okay. So, what 200% leader skills is this guy on? So, Plan M Saga clearly doesn't have one, right? No, it does. It has Ginyu. I'm so... I caught myself. Hey, I caught myself, okay? I caught myself. Alright? So Ginyu is Terrifying Conquerors, Planet Namek Saga, or Space Traveling Warriors, and this guy is clearly Space Traveling Warriors, right? Right, he is? He isn't? It's like Full Power, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Final Trump Card, Exploding Rage. He is on Space Traveling Warriors. If this guy was not on Space Traveling Warriors, I would have lost it. So he's on Ginyu's 200% leader skill, which is cool. I'm going to X all of these out. So he's on Ginyu's 200% leader skill. Full Power doesn't have one. Transformation Boost has one, but it's obviously for LR Final Form Cooler. So he's on Physical Coolers, 200% leader skill. For the 200% leader skills, I'm just going to bring up the characters of the teams that he is on so that it makes it more visibly to look at. Like, visibly pleasing for you guys to see instead of me just speaking it into existence. So, Wicked Bloodline, obviously I just pulled up him, so he's on his 200% leader skill. Terrifying Conquerors, yes, because he's on Transformation Boost, so yeah, he's on Final Form Cooler's 200% leader skill. This is obviously his best 200% leader skill being him, because obviously there's 30% to Transformation Boost, and this guy's on Transformation Boost. Final Trump Card doesn't have one, Exploding Rage has one, but obviously he's not on the Path to Power Goku's 200% leader skill, because that is for Bond of Friendship and Dragon Ball Seekers. Go ahead and close that out. Inhuman Deeds obviously doesn't have one. I just have to double check. Of course it doesn't. That team is just dead in the mud right now. Space Traveling Warriors does have one, that being the Ginyu. The Ginyu 200% leader skill with Planet Namek Saga and Terrifying Conquerors. Gifted Warriors. I mean, Gifted Warriors has one, but it's for Majin Vegeta only, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's pretty much just for Majin Vegeta, who is down here. Okay. And... What else? Planetary Destruction doesn't have one. Sworn Enemies doesn't have one. And Battle of Fate has one, but he's obviously not on... He's not on Vegeta and Trunks' 200% leader skill, clearly. Sworn Enemies, obviously his own leader skill doesn't have one. And Planetary Destruction does not have one. If I do... It doesn't have one. It doesn't. Okay, I was just thinking of his leader skill. Also, where is he on Global? Just saying. So he's on only 3 200% leader skills. Yes? Yeah, he's only on 3. Okay, so that's pretty reasonable to be for him to use. It's like, obviously, if he's sitting on this guy's team, then he's going to be usable for the red zone, for sure. It's like, I know I've said that you can use other options, of course, post Worldwide Celebration, but still, the point still stands. You can definitely use this guy if you do not have those options for Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conquerors / Transformation Boost for that 200%. So what is good about this guy? What's good about this guy is the fact that this guy is was a brand new leader skill for Planet Namek Saga that definitely needed. Prior to the celebration, Planet Namek Saga was completely laying face down in the mud. It literally only had this guy as a leader skill. And this guy turned out to be, like, what, a top 5 EZA? Yes? It's like, we saw this and we was like, oh, that's it? And then we saw him in game, he's ridiculous. So, yes, of course, Planet Namek Saga literally had nothing. It's like, let's go ahead and take a look at what they did not have before the celebration. Did they have Ginyu? They didn't have Ginyu, obviously, because Ginyu was 2022. So they didn't have Ginyu. They didn't have Frieza. I mean, obviously, they didn't have the Part 2 LRs with the Krillin and Gohan, which are over here. They didn't have Rakumen Goldo. They didn't have Burner and Jace. They didn't have this Piccolo over here, who's garbage. We did not also have your Easy A, obviously. We didn't have this Goku. It's like there's a bunch of characters that weren't on here. It's like Namek Saga could still use a bit more because this category just has literally nothing. Still, this category is still a nothing category, even though we do have Ginyu as the new leader. But guess what? It's like some of our powerful options. It's like, I believe you're non-space traveling warriors, are you? You're non-space traveling warriors. Okay. Yeah, okay, I guess it makes sense. That's not a good example. Then you're not Space Time Warriors. Yeah, you are not. So, yeah. I mean, does it even matter? That's a terrible point. So what's good about him is the fact that playing Namek Saga was his new leader skill, and Namek Saga definitely needed the new leader skill. He stacks attack size 12 key and stacks defense size 18 key. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do not like how they split the stack and defense and attack up from 12 to 18 key super attacks, because it causes the unit who stacks defense in their 12 key just to come out on top, because he was definitely better than Goku at the time, but Goku really got the last laugh in the end because stacking defense on the 12 key is better. But still, contrary to this card, we're still going to talk about him. So, of course, he stacks both his 12 and 18 key super attack. He stacks attack in his 12 key, stacks defense his 18 key, which is cool. He starts out with 2 key and 100% attack to start turn. He does launch additional super attack after he takes a hit, which we all thought was pretty good for the time. It's okay now, but back then it was definitely much better. He also launched an additional attack that had a 30 no, it's a 30% chance to launch additional super attack. But he launched additional attack. I don't know why. I always thought that was an additional attack, because when I used this guy, he always just did an additional attack. That was probably just from the potential system then. Okay, yeah, it was probably just... So yeah, of course, the good things about this guy is this additional attack and defensive buff, him gaining key and attack from going against Superclass Ally, which is basically the entire game, Goku's, which is basically like 75% of the game, and the fact that this guy was stacking a new category for playing Namek Saga as a leader, definitely. Well, playing Namek Saga was a new category, but still. It's like, this guy was good. Has big bad bosses, all these strong villain links, and his passive was just this super class enemy thing, and this additional attack and defensive buff is definitely what just made him king for his time, for sure. And the fact that he was helping out people inside all different types of content, Battle Road, inside long events, and all this other good stuff. I pretty much already reinstated all the stuff that I said at the beginning of the video. So what is bad about this guy? So what I think is bad about this guy, to be completely honest, is how his super attack effect aged. I feel as if though how his super attack effects aged is a little annoying, because this guy can definitely struggle for key for sure, because he really needs to get his 18 key off to stack his defense. And when this runs out right here, when he runs out of this 100% attack and defense for 6 turns, he looks a little fraudulent. I'm going to be completely honest. He looks kind of fraudulent when this runs out. And his 18 key being a stack and defense is definitely very, very annoying. I feel like that's the only 2 issues with him. I feel like everything else is pretty much fine for his day and age, but this is definitely an issue. When he runs out of this attack and defensive buff for 6 turns, it hurts. It just hurts. What is his best linking partners? Oh, mama. Mama, you see that? There go that man. Yeah, that's him right there. That's him. So yeah, him sitting right next to him. What's that? That's 80% attack, 25% defense, and 2 key. 25% defense and 80% attack. That just stink. That stinks, bro. It stink. Okay, so I think that's really about it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.